Hello and welcome. I've decided to do something else and do a more serious video this time. Uh, I want to show off my build to the new class of Victor, the Warrior Priest of Sigmar. What you see here is the talents I've choose, and I'll explain you why I've choose this one over the others. Which doesn't mean that my build here is the best around and there's nothing else you can do. That's just my personal choice. Feel free to drop your thoughts on the build and what you choose for talents for him. Yeah, I would like to hear that. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at the first row. We have Eternal Vigilance. Staggering enemies with a melee attack grants temporary health. Health gained based on stagger range. We have Slayer of the Wicked. Damaging multiple enemies in one swing with a melee weapon grants temporary health. Maximum 5 enemies. And the Blessed Hands. Yeah, healing yourself with a first aid kit or with a healing draught. Also heals your nearby allies for 20% of their maximum health. And it clears all wounds. So I've decided to go for Eternal Vigilance. It was for me the best choice because I think I don't hit multiple enemies with one swing of my weapon. But that depends on what weapon you choose. I've chose to go for the double hammers and for the flail and the shield. And with the loaded attack, I could probably get easy 3 enemies in a row. But with the normal, the fast attack, it's not so easy for me. So the staggering effect, as you can see, I barely hit 2 enemies, or maybe with the shield strike the third one, if I get in a row. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, this talent with staggering an enemy, it's easier to get than get the multiple enemies in one swing. But if you choose like the Great Hammer, here he is, it's probably better to go for the multiple enemies. As you can see, almost with any swing, hitting more enemies at a time. Okay, let's have a look at the other talents. We've got the level 10 row. First we have Unstoppable Force. Striking 3 enemies in a single attack halves the cost of pushing for 4 seconds. Rising Judgment. Hits increase the power of the next charge attack by 8%, maximum 5 stacks. And Sigmar's Executioner. Killing an elite enemy grants 5 critical strike chance for 12 seconds, maximum 3 stacks. The last one here sounds awesome, but you have to kill an elite enemy first, so depending on the difficulty you play, it's hard to find elite enemies in the first place. And after you find one, you have to kill it. So it's not so viable in most of the situations, I think. I think you're better with the other two. Again, this one here, striking 3 enemies in a single attack. If you choose to go for the Great Hammer, it's a great choice of talent. You can easily get the 3 hits, not like I do at the moment, but for example with the charged attack, and so you can push them back. And it's helpful again for another talent that we see later. But for me, personally, and for my weapon choice, this one here sounds way better. So I can easily go for like light attack, and a heart attack, which is more powerful in the next place. Or if I stack it out, bam. I think in most situations I'm better with Rising Judgment than I am with Unstoppable Force. But again, that depends on which weapons you play. The next row, the level 15 row, is the standard row for like every class. We have Smiter, we have Mainstay, and we have Enhanced Power. Enhanced Power is what I've learned for most viable for ranged characters, which he isn't, of course. He has 2 melee weapons he can choose from and no range attack. So again, you have to choose between Smiter and Mainstay. But this is just your personal choice. Both are fine, and you will play good with both of them. That's just your personal preference. The level 20 skill row is all about Righteous Fury, your passive ability. First we have Divine Exorceration. Pushing during Righteous Fury sends out a holy shockwave around victors staggering nearby enemies. It's a great talent choice when you play with Unstoppable Force, which you get down your pushing costs for 4 seconds, and then you also stagger them, and you've got with this shockwave you send out. So if you combine this one, these 2 talents here, it's a great talent choice. The second is Smite Power. Now triggers after 1 second, gains increased stagger range, and deals 40% of the attack damage, which is a furious DPS choice. So as you can see, once you activate Righteous Fury, which means you have to stay in combat to keep it up, you have like 40% extra damage of your weapon, and you also stagger more enemies. It's a great choice for DPS. What I choose is from Fury Fortitude. Each killing during Righteous Fury restores health to the party based on the health of the slain enemy. So it's a more party-based support tank option I chose. Which means once the ability is active, every enemy I kill is gaining health to my teammates. Like I said, it's more of a team support choice here. If you want to go DPS, you can go with Empowered Smite instead. For the level 25 talent choice, we have 3 different prayers. The Prayer of Vengeance, the Prayer of Might, and the Prayer of Hardiness. The Prayer of Vengeance blesses the party with 35% increased critical strike damage. Not the crit chance, but the crit power. Which sounds great, but I think it depends on which team you go for. If you have like a Shade and a Huntsman, this might be really great, so even more crit damage to pull out. The Prayer of Might, blesses the party with 25 increased % stagger power, which is a huge option in my opinion. It's really, really great. And the last one is Prayer of Hardiness. Blesses the party with 15% increased max health. I choose the Prayer of Hardiness, so the maxed health, to get more tanky with my character, to get more of a tank spec in this one. But you can easily go for Prayer of Might. It's also for the group a really great option. And it will increase your DPS drastically, and never underestimate the stagger power. It's really great and really helpful. So it's a hard choice between these 2. But again, if you go for like more crit depending party, Prayer of Vengeance is also viable. So most of the options here is Prayer of Might or Prayer of Hardiness. The last talents are Unyielding Blessing, United in Prayer, and the Comet's Gift. Unyielded Blessing. Shield of Fate now lasts for 8 seconds and allows the target to trample through lesser enemies and effects. So, which means your ability has a 3-second longer duration, and you have not only unit walking, but you can also walk through like the poison from the Poison Wind Globadier and the flames from a flamethrower, for example. I'm not so sure about the Wind of the Storm Sorcerer. I haven't figured it out yet, but it's a great option indeed. Ignoring all enemies around you and go through it, and then after the 8 seconds you explode and stagger all enemies around you. Really great option. United in Prayer, Shield of Fates allows always affects Swordspire as well, which means you can not only bless your target, your mate, but you can also get the shield for yourself, which means you have 2 guys in your group that are immune to damage for the 5 seconds, and yeah, you can also split push, like one of the guys goes to the left, one to the right, and after the 5 seconds you explode and have all enemies staggered, and yeah, like split pushed 2 of the ways that you're going for. You can easily ignore the enemies around you since you don't get any damage, and the ones behind you can kill what is left, what you've left. The last one, Comet's Gift. Shield of Faith now revives and heals an amount equal to all damage suffered the last 3 seconds. This one is like the talent choice for the mercenary. You can revive your teammate from a distance, which is of course a great option, but it's very situational. Like, my role of a tank is to protect my enemies that they don't go down in the first place, so this talent will only make sense once your teammate is down, which you want to try to avoid. So I think in comparison to the first 2 talents, it's the less viable choice for most situations. That's why I went for United in Prayer. So you can have one teammate and yourself get shielded at a time. So yeah, that's my build, how I go for it. It's a very tanky build, in my opinion, and as I said, you can go for a stagger and for a DPS build, of course. So let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.